It's time for the MD and Chef Team Show.
Let's go!
The content in this show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended for medical advice. It does not take the place of medical advice or treatment from a physician or health professional. Listeners and viewers should consult their own doctor or a qualified healthcare professional for specific health and wellness concerns and questions. And now, let's start the MD and Chef Team Show.
Hey everyone, welcome to the MD and Chef Team Show.
Hi! Wow.
MD,
Chef,
Isabel.
Chef Team.
Team.
The MD and Chef Team Show.
That's us.
Let's go.
And husband and wife. Can you believe that?
Yeah. But
44
first of all,
years.
you're my bestie friend.
Bestie, the old BFF.
Yeah. 44
Forever.
years. Yeah, I know.
44 years.
So
Wow, how
cool.
about that?
So
And-
cool.
And Merry Christmas out there to everyone. This is the Christmas edition. And hey, if you're not into Christmas, well then happy holidays to you. And if it's not merry, well, hopefully we can bring some kind of smile to your face today or
And peace.
something beautiful into your life today. That's our wish. Now, as our great friend Rubio usually says, and he likes to say, Showtime!
Boo!
So
Hi,
Thank
Rubio.
you for that, Rubio. Here we go, my friend, my beautiful friend and wife, and I could add a few more, but we'll end up leaving and going somewhere else. Okay.
Can you
yes.
believe it's the end of 2024?
Can you believe? You know, we're closing in on what are we at now? Well, here in New Zealand, it's the 19th, but, you know, if you're in USA, North America, wherever you are in the world, 18th, 19th, wherever you may be. Couple weeks left in this 2024 year. People winding down. Yeah, it's crazy to think. Here we are again. Wow.
And before Michael takes off on explaining what we're going to be talking about today, please, I encourage you to stay to the end because we'll be talking about what Christmas means to us. And I just want to be upfront and just let you know that this has been a heck of a hard year for us. And so we're coming into Christmas just very grateful to be alive and and present in this time.
Yes.
Yeah. And being able to just be here and doing our thing. So stay tuned. That's towards the end.
Well, in today's show later on, because we always have a relationship chat, but our relationship chat later on in the show today is going to be about the most important relationship at this time of the year and what we believe in for this time of year. So we'll get into that later on.
So,
Yes.
why
Do you have a question for me?
as I look at my notes, oh yeah, my turn.
By the way, we like to have fun, okay? So we can have fun.
No,
we can learn.
we
Yes.
don't like to have fun. Fun's against the law.
It's against the law, yeah. No fun allowed.
No fun allowed. Sad.
Sad face.
Sad face.
All right, come on, give me this question you got.
Okay. So why should people hang around and listen to us? These
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
nuts.
Yeah. Great question. You know, I think a lot about this too. When, you know, Isabel and I have our favorite podcasts. We have our favorite people that we like to tune into, just like our friend Rubio jumped on here earlier. He's got a fantastic show called The Rubio Method. We love watching that show. We love our favorite podcasts. We love listening to things. We love watching. And we have certain ones that are our favorites. And so for us, we kind of get into thinking, well, why do we like those shows? You know, what attracts us into the ones that we are constantly attracted to?
Right.
And so
What captivates us
Right.
about them that makes us keep coming back
Yeah,
for more.
Yeah, and so for us, and what we want to do, and what we want to make sure we bring to this show is where we're at right now in a time in the world, 2024 moving into 2025, is we believe in the statement that authenticity is the new currency. That people are just looking for authenticity. I mean, I might not agree with everything that's, let's say there's certain podcasts, or I might not agree with everything they say, but I know that they're authentic to who they say they are. I know that that's their belief. They're not just making it up, or they're not changing from one to the next, or if they do make a change, they apologize and say, hey, I changed my mind on this. But authenticity is just such a currency in today's world that people want to know we're authentic. And that's what you're going to get from us. You're going to get authenticity, whether, you might not agree with things we say. You might agree. The show's about health and wellness and other areas of life. And in health and wellness, we're going to bring you from our own personal experiences, how we from 50 and beyond have been able to slow down the aging, and I guess even kind of reverse the aging, as you could say, physiologically. We'll talk about what we've done. We'll talk about the research and the things we've heard, and just give personal experiences on what's worked. And you might like some, you might not like some, you might take some on board. What we really love to get into when we do talk about health and wellness, whether it's physical health, mental health, brain health, spiritual health, is getting to the root cause. Like, what's going on? What's bothering you? What's bothering you in a certain area of life? And finding out, well, how did you get to a point where this wasn't working for you? And then we want to find out, okay, yep, there's some temporary things we could do for relief, but long term, so to your last breath here on earth, we want to get to the root cause of whatever's going on, so we can say, you know what, let's prevent it, let's reverse it, let's have it so you don't have to deal with this anymore in your life, so you can live a long, happy, vibrant life until your last breath. Your brain's functioning well, your body's functioning well, physically, mentally, brain health, it's all functioning well. And that's really what our goal and our mission here with this show is, to be able to bring that to you in an authentic way.
Because in addition to that, tag along, is we're supposed to, I know this is not the main thinking out there, but you don't want to think like everybody else, because if you look out there, what everybody else is doing is not very healthy. So our understanding, our research, our knowledge base has shown us that we can, if we choose, live until our last breath with our brain intact and our body in tip-top form. And so that our last breath is our last breath. It hasn't been accelerated. So we don't have to be having all of this chronic disease and anxiety and depression that we're seeing out there. It's not part of life. This is like not normal. So that's what Michael and I have understood in the last 10, 15 years of our research and living this. And we just want to let you know that there's another way, and you can choose to do the other way. It's totally up to you.
Well said, my dear.
So know that we are here for you every fortnight. I think next year we're going to be coming every
move into weekly next year. Yeah. Really
we'll be coming in weekly, but we're here.
Coming in hot.
We're coming in hot.
Coming in hot in 2025.
Yeah. So, and we're here walking alongside you, encouraging you, not telling you what to do, just making suggestions. And you decide whether you take on the suggestions or not, okay? We only give you suggestions that we know, that we've implemented with ourselves and with our clients and our family members, and seen amazing results, okay? And we just want you to have your best, really your best life, because life is just so hard when you're not healthy, mentally and physically. It's impossible almost. Actually, not almost. It is impossible to live your best life when you're not healthy. And the food company out there and the healthcare system really isn't into health. They're just into, one, making money, and two, managing your healthcare, just managing you with pills.
Having you buy their products.
And the pharmaceuticals, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to share that with you from a medical point.
So you ready to talk about today's show?
Yes. What are we going to talk about today, babe?
So in today's show, it's
as I look at my notes
in our Christmas episode.
I will stay on point today.
We're going to ask the question, and of course give the answers, to how long will it take? 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months? Now what's this all about? Well,
unravel that for
I'm
them.
going to unravel this question. How long will it take? 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months? Well, what we're talking about is the holidays. Whether you celebrate Christmas, you don't, it's holidays. Pretty much everybody toward the end of the year has a break. There's New Year's, at the Christmas period. It's a time getting to family, friends, whether you drink alcohol or not. Usually there's some extra libations that happen, extra drinks that we don't normally have.
Libation?
Libations.
What does that mean?
Like extra, like adding on extra
festive. Okay. That's a big word for me. I didn't know that word.
Having foods we might not normally have, maybe overeating, having too much. A lot of different things go on, and we're human beings like you, is that when you get into that first week of January or beyond, and you get to a point where you've decided, okay, whew, that's enough, I got to get going again in 2025, you will have a recovery time to recover getting back to where your baseline of general health. So if your baseline of general health is here, let's say it's on a scale of 0 to 10 and your baseline is a 7, and over the holidays, because of a lot of things you do, your baseline of health drops down to a 5, 4, 3, 1, whatever it may be. There's going to be a period of time that it takes to get back up to that baseline where you can now start saying,
oh, don't we know?
I want to improve in 2025. And yes, we do know that.
We have been through this.
Yes, every year.
Every year.
Now, wherever you may be coming from, but just to give you an idea, down under here in New Zealand, Australia, and this part of the world, we're in summertime, school's out, there's a good 7-week period where it's pretty much party festive season. It's full on, it's beach, it's barbecues, it's play, it's fun. And so most people here this period of time that I'm talking about is probably till the beginning of February.
It's a 6-week Christmas holiday here.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's early February until people, and maybe the end of January at earliest, when people go, okay, I got to get back into it.
Which I love.
It's fun. It's great.
Fun.
But wow.
But however, there's a way to do it so that you don't feel absolutely hippopotamus by the end. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
So no matter where you're at, what you're doing over this time, this isn't about not having fun, not enjoying, because of course we want to have fun, we want to enjoy, we want to refresh, we want to do the things we don't normally get to do during the year. Well, we got a break now, and enjoying. However, it's about how long is it going to take? Is it going to take a couple days, a couple weeks, or is it going to take months? Is it like, May or June until I'm starting to feel right again, halfway through the year until we start getting going? So I've got 5 tips that I want to give you that can help you out through the holidays to lower that recovery time on the other side so you're able to come back quicker. And whether you decide, hey, I'm going to take on all 5, I'm going to take on 3, I'm going to take on 1, or I'm not going to take on any of those, totally up to you. These are some suggestions. These are the things that we have found work for us, so that when we get to the other end of our festive season, that it only takes us a few days until we start to get back into the flow again, and it doesn't take weeks and months, because we did have the period where it took us months to feel right again, and that's harsh.
I say to our girls, who are now women, is, you have a canvas and you've got the paintbrush, and every day you get to decide how your picture's going to be. And what Michael and I are going to share with you is how you want your picture to be after the Christmas holidays. How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? Where do you want to be going? Okay. And it's up to you. That is what is so blows my mind, is that we are in control of this paintbrush. We are in control on our response. We're not in control of the world, because the world's going to put before us so much stuff. Yummy stuff, ugly stuff, horrific experiences, and we get to decide, okay, this is the way I'm going to paint my picture. So let's give them some options. I'm going to get totally deep on this because this is a deep topic.
Okay.
You know, how do you want it to be for you? Because you don't have to go stumbling into the Christmas holidays blind and drunk and stuffed and not thinking. You can actually think and make choices.
Yes.
So we're here to help you make good choices if you want. We're not going to push you around, right? We're not going to push you around.
No pushing around.
We used to push people around, and people don't like being pushed around.
So if you happen to catch us today on a replay of the show, if you would please give us a hashtag replay in the comments section. That really helps us out. And by the way, today on the live, the comments are open. They're open on the replay too. We get back to you. But today, comments are open. So if you got some questions, suggestions, comments you want to make, please put them in there wherever you happen to be watching. And we would love, if you like the show and you're really into the MD and Chef Team show and you want to get it out there to more people, give us a like, a comment, subscribe. We'd love to catch you today and beyond in 2025. All right, so
hit it.
5 healthy holiday survival tips. Number 1.
Do you want a drum roll?
No,
okay.
No drum roll
okay.
needed. Number 1, when you sit down, actually enjoy the meal. Sit down, relax, take your time, slow down, enjoy the meal, have some conversation with those you're having the meal with, and it'll really help your digestive system. The reason why you want to slow down is a few different ones. Number 1 is you're socializing. So slow down, socialize, enjoy. Number 2 is
tell stories.
Tell stories. Number 2 is it'll help your digestive system to actually work through it, because please chew. Your digestive process starts in the mouth with the saliva breaking it down, the chewing breaking it down, so it starts there. So slow down, you'll help your digestive process out. And then number 3 is, when you eat slower, you actually give your body a chance to realize, hey, I'm full. Slow down. You don't have to have a big plate. I'm sure in the westernized society, we're not going to, at these meals, you're probably not going to run out of food. Slow down. Take your time. When you get to the end of your first time around, just sit back, relax. Maybe you're having a drink, maybe not, but just sit back, relax, some conversation. And you might find that instead of going to get seconds or going to continue to eat more, when you do that, your body systems, your body tells your brain, I'm actually full. I'm good. And no, I don't need to go get more and be totally stuffed. Because I think we all know when we've overeaten and we were so stuffed how bad we actually feel. We kind of end up being like, oh, I can't believe I ate so much, and it's not a good feeling. Why? Just get to a point, give yourself a chance to relax and say, you know what, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I've had enough. It's okay. And then if you do want to have seconds and go, okay, you've given yourself a chance to say, yep, I'm still hungry. I'll have some more. And that's okay.
Yeah, and sometimes just being extra full is kind of part of the show. But just know how you'll feel. Wait, are you going to go on to number 2 already?
No, I figured you're going to add some things in there.
Of course I'm going to add.
Yeah, so I'm just checking my
notes. Is it my
notes.
turn?
It's always your turn.
Oh, babe. I just wanted to say that it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to say, oh, wow, I'm full. So make sure make sure that you give it 20 minutes and just give yourself the first plate of food 20 minutes to land, and then check in with your brain. Say, hey, am I full? Oh, okay, I am full. Well, then maybe I'll just wait. Instead of eating more, I'll just talk more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be easier on your body.
Yeah, I'll sit back, I'll relax. So number one is, when you're having a meal, slow down. Enjoy.
And Michael and I are on your
Socialize.
shoulder saying, slow down.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah, enjoy.
Enjoy.
So number
because
two.
It's hard to enjoy sometimes because emotionally, here we go, we're going deep.
Okay.
Sometimes, you got to be with your family, and God bless our family. And some people just are, how can I say, polluted with negative remarks, or constipated with positive remarks, and they don't just feed you, they kind of pull you down. And so sometimes when we're eating, we're feeding a hungry heart, and you don't even know that that's even happening. So just like Michael says, Michael's on one shoulder and I'm on the other shoulder, just saying, slow down.
Yeah. I mean, it could be an emotionally challenging meal, and we recognize that. Be aware. Be aware if you find yourself kind of doing that.
Doing this.
Yeah. Just to slow down
and numb out, because that's what we do sometimes when we overeat. We're just overeating because we want to numb out. It's one of our ways of numbing out. Just be aware.
Yeah. So it seems like this could be easy, but if you're in an emotionally challenging conversation with family or whatever, you might just kind of be like, oh, okay. And we just need to be aware of it.
Yeah.
Be aware. Okay. So our number 2 healthy holiday survival tip is stay hydrated. If you're someone, or if you drink alcohol, this is basically for people who drink alcohol. And on a daily basis, we always have to stay hydrated. But if you drink alcohol during the festivities, being hungover a lot just comes from being dehydrated. The body system just being so totally thrown off by alcohol and no good water, dehydration. So a real tip is, if you're having an alcoholic drink, have an 8 ounce or a glass of water, a cup of water, but have a cup of water in between those alcoholic drinks. Because number one, that will actually kind of fill you up a little bit more, and you might slow down. But it'll also keep you dehydrated during that period, so that during the night you don't become so dehydrated. You wake up and you got a headache, your brain, everything is just so messed up that, this will really help you out. If you're someone who's going to be drinking alcohol during the holidays, just think about staying hydrated and not having numerous alcoholic drinks in a row without having any hydration of water, because that's when you could really set into that kind of dehydration hangover type of feeling. So this will really help you out with that. Any thoughts on that?
And if you don't drink, look, alcohol is not good for your brain.
Then don't.
There's no amount of alcohol that's good for you, just so you know. That's the latest research. So if you do drink, okay, that's important. But if you don't drink, don't start. You don't have to drink over the holidays. However, even if you don't drink alcohol, make sure you're drinking water, because that's important.
Yeah. And we'll have drinks over the holidays. I mean, this is one that we have to pay attention to. I mean, normally we don't have very much throughout the year, but over the holidays, I might have a couple glasses of bubbles, a little bit of champagne. Celebrate, especially New Year's, or, Isabel's birthday is the day after Christmas. They call it Boxing Day here. So again, it's like a double, triple.
Yeah, I'm turning how old?
65.
Woo, woo!
65. Can you believe it? 65.
Training for 100 years.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
So
that's just one coffee.
Yeah. So I'll be making sure I'm drinking
And the
water.
joy of the Lord is my strength.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I'm drinking some water with those bubbles that we'll be having. Okay.
Now, I personally cannot drink that much anymore.
Oh, no, 1 or 2, and you're kind of...
I'm like 1 glass, 2 glasses of wine. That's it. It's like I have to decide, okay, am I going to drink alcohol and not sleep, or am I going to sleep by not drinking alcohol? So I have chosen that my canvas is just 1 or 2 glasses of wine. Yep.
Okay.
And you know why I do that? Because I've learned the hard way. And you know what? I'm getting wiser.
Oh.
Wiser.
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom.
Wisdom at 65.
Wisdom rocks.
Wisdom at 65.
Ah, finally. But I will have a glass of Bubs on my birthday.
Cool.
Yeah.
So healthy holiday survival tip number 3. Do the best you can to avoid late night eating. And so one of the things that can really mess us up, and if we do this often, again, please understand that we know this is you're not going to be able to avoid this throughout the holidays every time. A lot of times we get together and we might have some, by the time everybody gets everything going, here in New Zealand, the actual barbecue doesn't kick off until like 9 o'clock or something, and everybody's had cocktails for 2 or 3 hours. But and we understand late night eating can happen throughout the holidays, but do your best to avoid eating late night, eating like within that 2-hour window before bedtime, and especially within that hour before bedtime, because it's really just going to cause your sleep to not be as good. It's going to cause your digestive system and your brain health to be working overnight. And it just affects how we sleep. Plus, we end up storing the calories, storing in fat what we've eaten overnight, because there's not enough time to burn it off before bedtime, unless, so
right.
Once we have the late night food and it just kind of piles in.
That's a good word, piles in.
It's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
And so that's when we start to turn, we start to turn into a little bit more rounder coming out of the holidays. And so, again, occasionally, it's going to happen. But if we get into that habit of late night eating all the time for a few weeks or however long over the holidays, it will add up. And it does. I don't know about you, but what I have found in my 67 years of life, the further along I go, the harder it is if I put a couple kgs or a couple pounds on, how harder it is to get it off.
Because it's water too. It's mostly that inflammation.
The inflammation,
which is just your body trying to detox with water.
I can put it on.
Toxins.
We can put it on quick, but getting it off usually takes longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is to help avoid putting on too much throughout the holidays.
Yeah. And Michael and I always sign up for the 80-20 rule, which is, 80% of the time you're really good and 20% of the time you're not. Well, just balance that out throughout the day, throughout the holiday. We were talking about that with our daughter.
Yes.
You guys are so healthy. And we're like, well, we're 80-20 really, because we're human first and we're living in this world.
Yeah.
And there's some yummy things around the holidays.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for my gluten-free carrot cake with this much cream cheese frosting on the top for my birthday.
My specialty I get to make for Isabel's birthday. Gluten-free carrot cake with cream cheese frosting.
This much cream cheese and that much cake.
Yeah. The carrot cake's like that big and the frosting is that big. And yes, a lot.
With ice cream. Coconut vanilla ice cream.
Wow.
With a little bit of vanilla.
So, that's a choice.
To help stabilize my blood sugar. Did you know that cinnamon helps? Here, this is an added bonus.
I don't think we can have enough cinnamon to actually balance that one out.
If you want to help your blood sugar.
I'll have some in the cake.
I know, but I'm just letting them know.
Yeah, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
You were going there anyway.
If you don't want to get inflamed with too much insulin, which is inflammatory because your body's like, oh my gosh, there's so much sugar in my body. I've got to spit out all the insulin, and that's inflammatory. Then in order to balance your blood sugar, so there's not so much insulin, so there's not so much water weight gain, then just sprinkle like a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon in your dessert. And that'll help keep your blood sugar stable. So remember the cinnamon on my ice cream and in the cake, okay?
I will.
All right.
Comprende.
Do you hear me?
I hear loud and clear.
Babe, I love you
healthy
so much. I
holiday-
love you.
Healthy holiday survival tip number 4 is try to take a walk after a meal, or even just some kind of movement, some kind of exercise after a meal, after every meal. Now, of course, it's not going to happen every time. I hear you saying it, right? Every time. Well, you try it as often as you can.
But I've got the option.
Yeah, you got the option.
I've got the option for if they don't have time for a 10-minute walk.
Okay, well, hold on.
I know. I'm letting them know that there's more.
Well, I know there is. I just got started on this, man. Yeah, you run with it. And I'll pop it every once in a while. Well, okay.
Stop it. Okay.
So, after every meal, some kind of movement. Let's put it that way. Now, Northern Hemisphere, I get it. You could be in an area where it's very cold. That maybe you can get out, maybe you can't. Where we're at, yes, easy to go out and take a walk. It's summertime here, but at least 10 to 15 minutes after a meal, you want to get in some kind of movement, whether it's a walk. Also, if you can't get outside, you can do some push-ups, some squats, all these different types of things. Just doing some movement to burn off the excess glucose that's built up from the meal. There's a lot of different things you can do just to make sure that you get that burned off, because that'll really help you just to not store the extra fat from the meals. You're actually going to burn off some of that extra sugars and glucose after every meal to get some movement going. And Isabel might have a couple other ideas for you.
Well, I'd like to pinpoint the kind of exercise we're talking about. Squats, you could just do 30 squats. Come on. 30 squats. Who can't do 30 squats? Just pretend like you're getting up and down from a chair 30 times. Boom! You got the blood sugar into your muscles.
You could do 30 squats. You could do 10 to 15 push-ups. You could just do a few different, whatever type of exercise that works for you. Squats are amazing. You might do some lunges. You just get
lunges.
Some kind of movement going. So that's just if you can't get out and walk. But you're trying to burn. The bottom line is you're trying to burn off some excess glucose after every meal, and that will really, really help you out.
But wait, there's more.
There is.
Yes. And so you want to... I'm not done, babe. Another idea is you want to, if you've got one of these little rebounders in your living room.
Mini trampoline.
As you should, because they're good for you, is 5 to 10 minutes of rebounding, because that's really good. It cleans your lymphatics, and it helps with digestion and detoxification. And just make sure that you get it done within 75 minutes of eating, because that's what the research says, is this exercise to get the blood sugar into your muscles instead of making insulin being secreted. You want to get that done within 75 minutes. So you got a whole 75 minutes to do 30 squats or a couple of push-ups or 20 lunges or 5 to 10 minutes of rebounder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Pretty amazing.
There you go. Next.
So when you're a beached whale on the couch, just set your alarm for 65 minutes and know that you got 10 minutes left to get up and start moving.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Okay.
All right.
So healthy holiday survival tip number 5 is got a couple components in it. And we're talking about just do your best not to have too much of the empty carbohydrate types of food. Now, understand carbohydrates are fantastic. We need it, but carbohydrates and vegetables and lettuce greens, and that is really what we need. But what I'm talking about is the fried foods and the biscuits and the cookies and all the sugary desserts and lollies or candies and all that type of stuff, having too much of it can just, if we're having it constantly every day, then it's really going to pile up over the holidays and we're going to come out of it not feeling so great. So just to give you an example, well, Isabel and I probably have some French fries or what's called chips.
Yes.
Yeah, sometime during the holidays.
Sometimes.
Times. Well, probably time during the holidays. I'm going with time. Will we maybe have some fish and chips? Possibly.
Yes. I am.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
It's a tradition.
I know, but maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Give me the option.
It's your choice.
Thank you.
You're a big boy now.
Thank you.
Yeah. You get to paint your canvas.
But
you got the paintbrush.
Understanding that we will probably have some of those goodies that we don't normally have. But what I do want to say is the one thing we will stick with, which is so important, is we're going to keep up with our salad greens, our salad, our lettuces, and our vegetables. So, yeah, maybe we're going to have some fish and chips, but before we have that, we're going to have our salad first.
Why?
We're going to go ahead.
No, you really
let 'em know.
Okay, so the reason is it's so neato. I just love.
Because I know you wanted to go with that.
I love the body. It's just so smart.
Yeah, so that's why.
Okay,
I kicked it over to you. I knew you would get excited.
So vegetables. Oh, Mom, Dad, why do I have to eat my vegetables? Or why do these people always talk about eating salad before their main meal? This is what we've been hearing from our friends and our kids. So, the reason is salad has all this fiber in there, okay? And fiber kind of puts like a mesh on the inside lining of our stomach and our gut so that the blood sugars are slowly dripped into our bloodstream, okay? Mm-hmm. Slowly. And you want your blood sugars to be slowly dripping into your bloodstream because you don't want to freak out your pancreas and make it start spitting out all this insulin to bring down your blood sugar. Why don't we want high blood sugars? Because high blood sugars damage the inside lining of your blood vessels, damage the inside lining of your heart vessels that feed your heart. It can cause that's what causes the heart attacks, is the blood sugar makes all this inside lining of your blood sugar of your vessels sticky. The bottom line is you don't want your blood sugars going up, and there's one simple thing all we have to do for the rest of our lives, most of the time, 80-20 rule, right, is have salad before you put anything else in your mouth. Have your salad. Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have salad with breakfast, and then we have our eggs, and then our toast and stuff. Yeah. And it is amazing how that levels off your insulin. And insulin, you don't want high levels of insulin. It's one of the biggest causes of chronic disease. And so it's simple. It starts just from the beginning of putting food in your mouth. That's why I get so excited, because I was never taught this in medical school. And I'm like, oh, this has got to be told.
Yes.
I know you're not that excited about it.
No, I am.
I know you are, but I'm like, because I see.
It's fantastic, yeah.
It's so simple, but people don't know, so.
It's good to put it out there.
That's why we've got it as tip number 5.
So in a recap, so 5 healthy holiday survival tips. And again, we're understanding what this is all about is we're all going to have some greatness. We're all going to have some fun, whether you have alcohol or not, whether you eat different foods, new foods, foods you don't have. Most of us will have all kinds of different festivities going on, whether it's next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it may be. But coming out of it, it's going to take us either 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months to recover back to our baseline of health before we started this period. And if we want to move beyond the baseline, we're going to have to take a period of time just to get back to that baseline of health. So the number 1 tip was, when you have a meal, sit down, relax, socialize, enjoy it, Allow your body 20 minutes to possibly say, hey, wait a second, I'm full. I don't need more food. I'm okay. And if you do, fantastic. Go from there. Number 2, stay hydrated. Even if you don't drink alcohol, remember to stay hydrated during this time. And if
With water.
With water, yes, with water. And if you do drink alcohol, think about having a cup or a glass of water in between each alcoholic drink. It will help you out very, very much to stay hydrated, and especially overnight with that thing they call a hangover. All right. And then number 3, avoid the late night eating, especially within 2 hours before bedtime, and really not before an hour before bedtime. And again, this can happen, because of the holidays. But
especially when you drink alcohol.
Do your best to stay away from alcohol and food within an hour to 2 hours of bedtime, because it can really mess up your overnight sleep, your digestive process, your brain health, and just have you feeling kind of yucky and sluggish in the morning. And also, it'll store some extra weight around the midriff as time goes on if you do a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And number 4, have some kind of movement after a meal, whether it's a walk, whether it's some lunges, some squats, some push-ups, whatever it may be, 10 to 15 minutes of something, 10 to 20 of some kind of, squats, lunges, maybe 30, whatever you can do, but just burn off that extra glucose after a meal. Keep yourself moving. And number 5, do your best to avoid excess of all the empty carb stuff, as far as the bickies and the cookies and the lollies, the candies, the deep fried foods and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we're probably all going to have some. Well, the key really is to make sure that you have a salad as far as vegetables and lettuce greens before you dive into that. Example, Isabel and I will have some fish and chips, but we're going to have a lovely salad before we have that to make sure the glucose levels stay balanced and lowered when we do dive into that extra goodies that we wouldn't normally have.
And actually, it starts filling you up.
Yeah, it does.
So you eat less.
You eat less because it fills you up.
Yeah.
Very, very true. So there you go. Hopefully take on 1, take on 5, take on none. Totally up to you. But we wanted to share those to help you out through the holiday times.
And let us know which one you're going to take on.
Yeah. Put it in the comments if you say, I'm going to use that one. Then let us know. Or if you say, I'm going to use
Or if you have
all.
any questions.
Yeah, please do. Now, before we move on to our relationship chat, I do want to say this is very, very important that I've got to let you know.
Right.
That right now, I understand that not everybody's health is doing that great. We understand that. And we do know that right now out there in the westernized world, 1 in 3 people either pre-diabetic or have type 2 diabetes or some type of diabetes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people haven't even been diagnosed of pre-diabetes. They're just walking around with it and don't even know. But we know, so in 2024, maybe it hasn't been your best year in health. Maybe right now you're thinking, man, I want to do something, or maybe I want to do something in 2025. Well, just to let you know that Isabel and I have a Doctor on a Mission. It's a program of reversal of type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes, and it's actually prevention too. That if you are suffering in that area, or if you have concerns in that area, or even know of anybody who has concerns of pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes, this program would be excellent, I can tell you. And normally this program, you do it at home, it's in your time. You can, if you want to start now, you start when you want. You can go through it in a few weeks, you can go through it in 6 weeks or a couple months, totally up to you. But normally for this program, it's $59 US, and right now Isabel and I have it for $29 US, and we're going to do that for a little bit of time, just over the holidays and through the early part of next year. I mean, where you can find it, let me bring this up. Make sure I've got this for you. And oops. There we go. So on doctorandamission.com, excuse me while I brought that up, on doctorandamission.com, you'll see services. Under services, look for the Doctor in a Mission pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes reversal program. We've used this with other people. We've had great results. And again, right now, it's only $29 US.
And it's in video form, and it's Michael and I in there, and we just walk alongside you showing what you can do. Yes. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change so that you don't have to have this chronic disease, okay?
Yes. You can change your health, a loved one's health, family members, or change through your health what's going on generational throughout your family. So again, we leave that with you, and we want to just offer that as I got to tell you about it because it's an amazing program and amazing value. So check it out. Let us know what you think.
Because just because your parents had diabetes does not mean you will have diabetes. You can be the one that breaks that chain, breaks that lie that, oh, it runs in our family. I'm just waiting for mine to happen. You know what? That's just a lie, and we don't need to believe that lie anymore. We have shown, and other physicians have shown, that you can prevent and even reverse prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. It's your choice. It's a lifelong experience, and you'll be showing your family. This will be generational education for your family to show them, hey, mom and dad had prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, and they reversed it. I'm going to be like them, healthy, not like our grandparents.
Yes. Well said, my dear.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I'm passionate about this too, because my father died of complications from type 2 diabetes at the young age of 69. And when I knew him when he was younger, he didn't have that, and he developed it as time went on through poor lifestyle habits, and it just didn't need to happen. And it did, and I lost him at a young age, and that sucks.
Yeah.
So I'd hate to see that happen to anybody else out there in the world.
And my grandfather died of diabetes. He had amputation. He had heart attacks. And my dad, had diabetes. So we just doesn't have to, like, I've broken it. Like, I started to have I had prediabetes. Michael had prediabetes. We're like, no, we are breaking this generational tie. We're going to show our kids that just because you've got the gene for diabetes does not mean you have to express it. And Michael and I have not expressed it. We've suppressed it with lifestyle. It's that easy. It's not simple, but it's easy because there's just steps you have to do.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. 80-20 rule.
Yeah. So if you want to take advantage of the program, we're there to walk you through the program in video and our coaching. And so it's on doctorandamission.com /services. And if you want to catch up with us on social media, just look for @DoctorInAmission on your favorite social media channel. That's where we're at. If you want daily insights and inspiration, you'll find us there. And there you go. So now we're going to get into today's relationship chat. And today's relationship chat is a very important relationship chat. It's very timely. We're going to talk about what Christmas means to Isabel and I. And as we kick this off, this is really, again, I talked about authenticity. We're authentic about who we are. We don't hide who we are. We're authentic about it. We share it. And again, some people will enjoy it. Some might not. But again, our passion is being authentic about who we are and being real with you out there because you're here today. So what do you got for us today, my dear?
You want me to go first?
Oh, I can if you want me to. Either way.
If you want me to go first, I'll go first.
No, I can go.
Okay. You
for just a couple minutes, and then away you go.
And away you go. Get ready.
Well, Well, today in our relationship chat for Isabel and I, this is our most important relationship in life, and it's about our relationship with Jesus Christ. And this season, what is Christmas mean to us? And this Christmas festive season to us is our relationship with Jesus and understanding that this is his time of birth. And that for us, yes, it is that festive season, of course. Do we do presents under the tree? Yeah. Do we do a Christmas tree? Yeah, we do. Do we do the stuff of light? We can see we got some lights up and we got things going on. Do we do the societal festive Christmas stuff? Yes, we do. But underlying and knowing of all that, what's our true blessing of what Christmas is to us in our authentic life, and it's about our relationship with Jesus Christ and what he's done for us throughout our life and how we feel about that. And so, at this time we understand about Jesus' birth and how God came to heaven in human form through a baby.
God came to earth.
God came to earth in human form through a virgin woman who had a baby supernaturally, and it was in a manger, in a stable, and surrounded by animal dung, and it's such an amazing thing because a lot of times when we think about the king and noble and bigness and all this and that, we think like it's some royalty in some kind of a castle or something like that, but the king of the world came to us in a manger surrounded by animal dung and dirt, and just showed us that it's really not for us human beings here on earth. It's not just about being noble, shall I say, or being like living in a castle or putting ourselves above everybody else. It's about understanding that even Jesus was there with the rest of us. He was there, came in at a lowly level and can relate and became relatable as a human being to all of us.
Yeah.
So that we could understand what the true meaning of God is through his son, Jesus Christ. And so for me, that relationship has changed my life, meant so much in my life, changed my relationship to my wife. It's changed my relationship to myself. It's changed my relationship to the world so that I could become more Christ-like in a better way as a human being. And that relationship is so important to me. So I recognize that in this time of the year. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful relationship. Go ahead, my dear.
Yes, well, right there with Michael. Christmas that's what it means, is Jesus being here on earth, walking as a human being, and knowing that walking here on earth is hard, that living this life is really, really hard, and he's just shown us how to do it, with peace and love and joy. And I personally can say that this past year has been easily one of the hardest years I've ever experienced, and I know that my family has experienced. And I suffer with anxiety and depression, and I came to the end of myself earlier on this year, and I was suicidal. And look, I want to tell you, as a functional medicine doctor, like, I had my eating right, I had my exercise right, I had my probiotics right, I had my gut health right, I had my hormones right. I was like in tip-top form. But you know what? If you've got stuff in your head, like, I thought I had cleared up all my adverse childhood experiences. I thought I had that all taken care of, but I didn't. And so I just became suicidal and tried to take my life. And by the grace of God, Jesus came, put his hand on my wrist and said, "That's not for you." And he stopped it. And he said, no, you're mine. And like now it's Christmas time. And I'm so grateful that I'm like alive. I'm awake. I'm awake. And the first thing I've come to realize is that I'm a human being first, and that Jesus is here to help us do this life. I'm not alone, and he's walked through this with me. And I think the hardest thing was thinking that I had to do it all on my own and by myself, and life is just too hard to do on your own. And Jesus, this little baby that came to earth and grew up to show the world how to have love and joy and peace and how to do the world, came to show me how to do it. And I have a relationship with Jesus that nobody could ever stop, and I can't force it on anybody. I just tell people Jesus is alive, and he's walking with me, and he's showing me the way, and I'm so grateful that he's with me, and he really knows me, and he, this isn't about religion. Like, I grew up in a very religious time, and I ran away from religion because I just felt like it was all these stupid rules, and it didn't make my heart happy. Like, I just saw a lot of wrongness in religion and in church, and I was like, no way, man, I am not going to do that. That's not me. And so I do remember crying out to God, crying out to Jesus, saying, Jesus, I just really do not know you. I really, really want to know you. And unfortunately, it took me to come to the end of myself for him to say, that's not for you, you're mine. And he saved me, and he saved me and my family from a terrible experience. Yeah. And so Christmas is very important to me because of this little baby that came to earth to show me how to do life. And the Bible, the Bible is so beautiful. The Bible, when you read the Bible, when I read the Bible now, I really see the promises, promises from God, promises from Jesus, just do it like this, and I promise you it will go this way. And so he's given us the roadmap, and I'm so grateful that I'm alive to read the roadmap. So Christmas to me means Jesus Christ is my Savior, and he's the Savior of the world.
Yay.
Yeah, and I'm happy. This is happy tears. I'm happy because that I'm alive.
Very well said. Thank you, hon, for sharing that with everybody. Maybe that touched you. Maybe it didn't. But I just want to acknowledge, on finishing off the show today and finishing off 2024 for us here at the MD and Chef Team Show, that even if that's not your belief out there in the world, what we wish for you is for ending out this year of 2024, understanding that it's not always a happy time for everybody, that somehow you can find some blessings in your life. Somehow you can find some joy, some love, some peace in your life. No matter where you are, whatever you're experiencing, that is our wish for you. That is our prayer for you, that you find love and joy and peace in your life. And just know that there's a light out there that shines through the darkness. And fortunately for us, we have a relationship with that light, Jesus Christ. And maybe that will be for you someday. It's out there. So have a fantastic end of your year. If you get an opportunity to refresh, recharge, enjoy, have fun, friends, family, whatever it may be, But hopefully you can take advantage of the end of this year. Have a great finish of the year. I mean, you might still be running yet. You know, a couple of weeks to go. You might still be running yet. But hopefully you get an opportunity to just kind of reset and recalibrate to bring yourself into the new year. And our wish is that you, as you finish this year, that 2025 ends up being your best year yet.
And I'll end singing, "Joy to the world, the Lord has come. La la, la la, la la." That's how I feel.
Bye, everyone.
Love you. Big hug.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Bye. If you're part of that 70% who haven't subscribed yet, well, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can come along with us. Give us a like. Thanks.